Hey everybody, it's Muffin and welcome back to another video. In this game we started off with a Nasus with a Rod, and in the first couple of rounds we natural an early Ez2 as well as a Lee Sin. So we're playing Lee Sin carry, gamers. Alfredy's pretty good right now, so I'm totally down to try him. He was another one of my favorite units from the beginning of set 7, so really glad that he's good again. They did rework him a little bit. He now applies damage to his kick target after they land. So he does still the AoE explosion of damage, but you don't have to worry about him popping the unit that he kicks, so it doesn't do any damage to the backline. Do not ask me why I took Triforce as our first augment. It does basically nothing for a dude. This was definitely a reroll and hope that you get Thrill of the Hunt type of angle. Thrill of the Hunt is probably Lee Sin's like best augment. Then you don't have to worry about putting Bloodthirster on him. You can just put full damage items. But sadly we're left with Triforce because I was too scared to reroll, and our other augments sucked. The early game for Lee Sin's pretty easy. Since Dragonmancer is now a 2/4/6, it does now require Yasuo or a Spatula in order to get 6 Dragonmancer. So our main plan from this point is to get to level 7, run 4 Dragonmancer, and slow roll for Lee Sin 3 and Volley 3, building JG, IG, and Bloodthirster on a boy. Then going level 8 for either a 4 Tempest board or a bit of CC and shielding from a Zyra Seraphine combo. On our second carousel, we take a cloak in order to finish this BT, just to get some item usage of this sword that's sitting on our bench. We don't want a bunch of items sitting there useless, and a sword by itself is a lot less useful than a rod by itself, especially on our Lee Sin, so I decided to make a full item. You could argue that JG early is a little bit better since he's not doing so much damage, but I think he gets a lot of shielding from it, and he's more frontline right now since we have 2 upgraded backline units, and that's where most of our damage is kind of going to be coming from, this Ezreal and this Karma, rather than specifically just the JG. And I was way too confident going to level 5 here. We rotated into a player with 3 upgraded 2-cost units and a Namzi, and getting to 4 Dragonmancer really doesn't win us this fight. And this really sets our economy back a bunch since we only make 30 gold at Krugs after it's already given us some gold. Krugs also gave us an armor, but we really don't need anything but gloves right now, so this kind of sucks. And if you're sensitive to bad plays, you should probably turn away from the screen, because I fucking leveled again, baby. Why do you ask? 5 Dragonmancer. I'm still a little sick, so I'm going to blame this on COVID brain, but honestly, this is the worst play I've ever seen. It ends up not being the worst decision in the world, because for our second augment, we're offered Dragonmancer Crown, put that emblem on an Ezreal, and now we've got 6 Dragonmancer, and we don't need Yasuo. We do win the next couple of fights, which is great for our econ, but is terrible for our items, because we're now at stage 3-5 and do not have a single glove. So our Lee Sin does okay damage, but he's not one-shotting things like he should be. So on Carousel, I just take a tier on the off chance I find a bow and am able to make a shiv. This also allows me to make Fimbulwinter or whatever this item is called on Volley, giving I believe 30 MR and armor to our other frontline units, including our Lee Sin, which should help him survive a bit longer. And we finish off stage 3, winning out against the Soam carry. I think a lot of people think Soam is a really bad dragon. I personally love him. I think he just gets itemized pretty poorly. Honestly, like blue buff and double Archangels, I imagine would be amazing. Or even a Morello, since he attacks most of the enemy team. But yeah, I love the Lagoon Dragon actually. Wolves does give us a boost, so we make the Shiv on Ezreal, make the Lee Sin 2, and we just level up to 7. Now for our third augment, we're offered Big Friend, Salvage Bin, or Component Grab Bag. Salvage Bin actually wouldn't have been too bad, since we could remake our Volibear, get this glove off from the Hodge, and be able to actually slam our JG, which is probably the safer play. Instead I took Components Grab Bag, hoping I would find a glove or 2, and anything we didn't find we get off our next carousel or from Treasure Dragon, but instead we just get a bunch of belts and armor. Oh my luck, this game is not great. But then also I made a bunch of bad plays. I am going to blame all my mistakes today on COVID. However, I'm starting to feel a bit better, so the rest of this week should be a lot better. But I slam Warmogs on this Volibear because the other options of Sunfire and a Morello, so what's that going to do? Volibear's kind of a tank in this comp anyways, so he'll make good use of the Fimbulwinter armor with the extra HP. Off 4th carousel, we're left with another Rod tier decision, and we just decided to take the Jace with the tier. I guess we can make an Archangels and put him in over this Kiana, just give a little bit more AP to our whole team. And somehow I lose to a Nidalee reroller, because that's still a thing in set 7.5. Notably, it does help that he has Thrill of the Hunt, which I think is one of the main reasons it works. We also don't have much CC or any of our items for Lee Sin. And it's right here at 4-6, I start thinking maybe we're not going to get our Lee Sin items. We'd have to get off of Treasure Dragon both a glove and an IE, which is a very specific combo, and normally you're not supposed to roll for specific combos. So I'll go ahead and level 8, thinking that our best case scenario is to slow roll at 8 and probably replace this Ezreal with an Ao Shen if we can find him. That'd give us 6 Dragonmancer as well as Tempest, as well as our Ezreal's not holding terrible Ao Shen items. So this was my fallback play. Now here at Treasure Dragon, we are still going to roll for our IE plus JG, but we have 12 gold to try and find it before we start griefing our econ. And our 14th roll, we find it. Now our whole plan is to reroll at level 8. We only have 4 Lee Sins, but we do go against the guy in first who's playing Namzi carry, and it's honestly wreaking havoc on the entire lobby. He's really close to Namzi 3 as well. There's a very low chance we're going to beat that guy, but we have pretty good opportunities to top 4 here or even top 2. Positioning my Ezreal in the second row so he stops getting Zyra, because these Zyra players get rid of all of our MR shred. And our Lee Sin Sin's actually starting to win us really good fights. I do take out this Soraka because she's just dying instantly anyways. I also find a Yasuo, take out Kaisa and put the Volibear items on him. It's really weird that we haven't been able to find a Volibear 2. Reroll has just not happened, but we also didn't roll any at level 7, but so it's not that crazy. But now we do have in the 6 Dragonmancer 4 Tempest board, and we just want to find our Lee Sin 3. And honestly, it's not looking that bad. On 5th carousel, we find a Gunblade. That'd be great for our last Ao Shen item. Admittedly, Locket would have gotten us immediate value, but it would also make us have to position our Yasuo in a weird way, where he's going to get targeted first, which I didn't really want. So I just played this board for a while. The Namzi player is hit Seraphine 3, which is the most broken unit in the game, given 70 magic damage to every auto from someone within 2 hexes of her whenever she ults. It's insane. It's broken, even more so than Lee Sin is right now. And so we're pretty confident it's a second. We do win against almost everyone else in the lobby, beating out the Sohm player to secure our top 2, and we still haven't found a Volibear 2 yet, which is insane. Makes no sense. On a test of Valor, we just get another Hodge that we don't really need, and the other guy hits Namzi 3. And at this point, even having Ao Shen on our board does nothing. He doesn't even cast. I do at least find Lee Sin 3, which feels good, but man, does he not kill anything on this board. And we go second. But honestly, this game was a disaster, so I'll take it. But if you like this video, consider hitting the subscribe button. I'll be making set 7.5 PBE videos every day until it hits live, or at least every weekday. And we're also only like 25 subscribers away from 1,000, so that would really mean the world to me. Anyways, I hope you guys have yourself a great day, and keep gaming.